learn to give people time to get up to speed, train them properly, and then empower them. I'm Alex Preece. I am one of the co-founders and chief operating officer of a business called Tillo, which is a reward, incentive, and gifting network.
And how did you start the business? Why did you see a need for this product?
Yeah, no, good. So it was a previous business that my business partner had founded. We were in the deals market, actually. So think Groupon, Living Social. So we started the kind of UK's first Groupon, if you will, and got a lot of traction very quickly. And then subsequently, which was incredible, we timing was perfect. We set the business up and got into a trial with Money Supermarket PLC, and then ended up selling the business in under a year. I think it was like 8 months from starting it, and it was quite a big transaction for those guys in that it was before they'd actually bought moneysavingexpert.com, but it was their first actual acquisition stroke investment, apart from some domain names. So it was quite a big deal for all parties, really. Now, that's got nothing to do with the question you just asked, but I'll come on to that just very quickly. But essentially what it meant is that we were sending, back in 2011, I think it was, we were sending like millions of people to thousands of businesses with bits of paper. And ultimately we knew that the very poor smartphone, or I suppose technology devices that were out then, in all this functionality for vouchers and redemption needed to go into the phone. Anyway, corporate marriage didn't really suit myself and my business partner, Gareth. So we ended up leaving and doing our own thing and ended up working for a Swedish mobile payment company. And ultimately, it was there really where we wanted to bring gift cards into the mobile payment application. And that was our first experience of gift cards or stored value. And we realized that this is a really big market, nearly £9 billion in the UK. Globally, it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars worth, and it's really interesting because in the UK 55% of it is actually is B2B, so it's businesses buying for reward, incentives, customer acquisition, and these sorts of things. And they were all buying on spreadsheets. They were buying via spreadsheets. They had individual contracts for every retailer. There weren't that many retailers in the market, probably circa 20, 30 retailers. And the big guys you'd expect to have a gift card program. It was all fixed denominated, so there was no flexible values really. And it was all physical. That was the big thing. And then we set out to we saw it and we were like, well, we can easily streamline this process. Unbeknown, naivety is a great thing to have. But we set out to streamline that process of buying and procuring gift cards for B2B use cases, being reward, incentive, corporate kind of use, in a much more efficient manner. A bit like Stripe have done for payments. We're kind of doing the same sort of thing for gift cards. So we make it really easy for buyers that typically spend quite a lot of money on gift cards. And we're a SaaS-based business essentially. So we'd invented the pricing for the whole market, because before we came along, a Z business would just have a direct relationship with Amazon or John Lewis, and they'd be buying on spreadsheets and they just pay for the codes that they bought. Whereas we're fitting ourselves in the middle to make that journey much more efficient across lots of different territories. And for that service, the technology has a value and a SaaS-based fee with it. So yeah, it kind of evolved for 5 years, to be fair. So it's pretty much 5 years to the day we started the business.
So it's really a case of, I suppose, marrying your previous experience with the updated technology that was suddenly available and knowing what you could do with that, which is
exactly
the starting point. So I suppose let's start with your previous business then. You say you started it and sold it through a trial with Money Supermarket, which almost feels like it was sold as you were getting going as the founders there. So what was that process like? And did you really question yourselves of whether you should sell it or not?
Yeah, no, we very much so. That game that we were involved in with, I suppose, the deals, daily deal craze that was happening back then. you needed a very big database of customers to make it work. Now, I think we accumulated probably 4,000 people here in Brighton and Hove, just off doing our own stuff and bootstrapping the business. But ultimately, the business that we'd started needed to be acquired or sold, and or obtain big funding in order to essentially acquire those customers for your own thing. So you did see an emergence of newspaper groups kind of doing their own sort of thing and using their massive databases worth of customers to promote daily deals, because it was quite an easy thing to set up, to be fair, in some respects. It was all about the deals, and we tried to do something a bit more premium with our one, a bit more smarter. So ultimately, the mission was to partner with someone with a big database, giving them our technology to essentially do the daily deals, either a newspaper group or another third party. So when Money Supermarket opportunity came around, it was like a match made in heaven in some respect, because they could only talk to their customers once a year for car insurance, pretty much. That's where 60% of the revenue came from. So the opportunity to talk to them every week or every month with a deal or offer, when it came to car insurance renewal, it kind of made sense. So we essentially got into a trial in Chester and I think Brighton. It went really well. I think we outsold Groupon like 10 to 1. It did really well. And really, it was a no-brainer. We're very generous. The transaction size was like £11 million. They had to report to the city. We didn't see all of that money, but it was incredible. We learned, dealing with very big corporate lawyers in Herbert Smith and being in their offices. Myself, my business partner, like, crikey, this is a bit different than some of the solicitors that we've been dealing with, and it was a very big deal for those guys to kind of present to the city and explain why they were making this acquisition, which was just incredible at the time. But I wouldn't regret. There was nothing that we regretted on that. It was a great learning curve of growing the business from, ultimately it was like 4 or 5 people to 60, 70 people in the end, with people all over the country, and it was a real sales engine essentially. So yeah, it was great opportunity.
The very, very early days of it, when you were first launching it, were you already aware of the fact that you need a bigger organization or mass funding to really make it work, or is that something you learned as you got going with it?
Yeah, I think all the things that we've done, we've always underestimated the work involved. Yeah, we did. We tried to do it ourselves and go locally and get the brands on and prove the website worked from a transactional perspective. But ultimately, we always knew that we were exploring funding, and I think it fell through a couple of times with some angels. And then it just, like I said, timing was just really, really incredible. It just, a couple of the angels fell out that we were dealing with. I'll be honest, we wouldn't have wanted them involved anyway. And then the Money Supermarket thing came along, and then it was like, we're going to be employed, steady wage, money in the bank, money in the, we sold our shares, so we had some funds come in, which was nice. We weren't having to like live hand to mouth anymore. It was just incredible timing, and it was an incredible deal at the time. So yeah, it felt definitely like the right thing to do.
And how did that come about? Like, I realize we're talking about it very almost simplistically at the moment, saying that the opportunity just came about, but how did that happen?
Yeah, no, good question. So myself and my business partner, we're at another company called, this is where we were working for someone else. We were working at a comparison website, actually Money Supermarket's competitor, Money Expert. They took a big load of funding from Technology Crossover Ventures, so TCV in America. One of the guys over there, one of the partners, he had been talking about this business called Groupon that was doing quite well in Chicago. And we just saw it. We just saw, that's the most incredible business model, like cash up front, crazy deal, get everyone together to buy this deal. It was just the craze was just there. And we just felt, we had to go off essentially and try it ourselves, but just do it a bit more smarter and try and ultimately get better deals, try and do the British version of it, which is where Money Supermarket just brought that real nice trust value to it.
And it sounds like it all just went almost perfectly. Timing was right. It sounds like you made the right decisions at the right time. What are the sort of benefits and the risks of that? What I'm thinking of when you're now starting this new business and you're a fair way into it, were you expecting everything to go as smoothly? And I'm guessing there's been a few bumps in the road over 5 years. But at the same time, has there been experience that you took from the last one that's been actually really useful and saved you time and so on?
Yeah, you can't scrimp on legals. You need a good legal team around you. We didn't really have a very good legal team at all around us that were probably more suited toward property and whatnot. Actually, legal people, I think some lawyers are quite good at not pretending is a wrong word, but embellishing what they're able to kind of review and do. And actually, our legal team that we've got now in Taylor Vinters are just incredible. Like, you've got all the expertise there, and they really help you in a pragmatic way, but also a cost-efficient manner as well as you grow. So that was a real great learning curve that we learned from early on with the deals business, that we did it incorrectly on that front. We should have had a much better suited technological scalable lawyer firm to help us. I'll be honest, Tillo has been really hard work, because we're redefining the whole industry. We pioneered what we're doing here, whereas that business was actually quite not an easy business to start. Well, it was actually, compared to this business, it was very easy. So how easy things can be and how plain sailing it can be compared to this business. It just felt every week, every month, just hard work, uphill battling almost in pricing, in proving value, in ease of building the technology, dealing with legacy systems, all that sort of thing. So I think the main learning curve I got from that was that you need to have great execution. You need to have great execution, essentially. Speed is always of the essence, which is what we did in this business. And in that business, we moved extremely fast, worked, all hours to make the thing work, and it's the same with this business. That's why success has happened here, is that myself, my business partner, have laid the pace that enabled us to succeed and win in this market.
Absolutely. And for yourself then, so how has your role changed over the past 5 years with this business, or as you've grown?
Yeah, no, I mean, my kind of COO, but actually I'm going more into the strategic partnerships kind of area of the business, to be honest, and focusing much more on our much larger clients, and also a lot more of the Tillo brand awareness and getting much more involved in things like this, to be fair. So I'd say that actually I've always been involved in a bit more of the day-to-day, a bit more of the product, a bit more of the recruitment, a bit more of everything, if you will, than my business partner, who takes more the CEO role. So yeah, I'd say it's just changing to be a lot more specified. I enjoy doing the sales. I enjoy problem solving with our prospective clients and clients themselves to work out, is there any better way of doing things? And from a partnership perspective, it's I just really enjoy that, to be fair, talking, getting out there and just problem solving, essentially.
And what are the goals for the business over the next sort of 12 months or so?
Yeah, keep that 100% plus growth. That's a big one, and we've got quite big, to be fair, this especially over COVID. So yeah, keep growth, move from a founder-led business to ultimately a leadership business, which is, I can imagine a lot of your founders in the network are kind of going through those challenges. That's really hard. It's a lot harder than people kind of say it is, actually, to be fair. I am involved in a lot of things, and ultimately you need to learn to give people time to get up to speed, train them properly, and then empower them, essentially. And that's quite a tricky thing to do, to trust people to close deals, do a great job, and basically stop thinking that people just don't get it and you need to do everything, because that's not scalable. So yeah, that's kind of one of the main goals. And obviously, as we do great things in the UK, we are present in lots of other markets, but ultimately we don't have teams in other markets. So hiring people that have got that Tillo values in those markets so they can grow internationally.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things with this, and I don't know if you've thought about it much, is keeping that company culture, but within different cultures within other countries is always a challenge. So have you thought about ways of doing that? And I suppose working remotely over the last year or so is maybe good practice for that.
Yeah, I'm really proud of what we've achieved. And, we were a very small business going into COVID, probably 22 people, I think. And now we're nearly 52, and it's a course of a year, so it's grown really well. And I really feel like the culture's been retained, and our values are still key to a lot of people. Ultimately, I would like to have the people that are in this business today take that challenge and move it into another market if they felt like, do you know what, I'm in a good place. I quite fancy going to America or Canada or Australia or whatever, and empowering those people that really have the same skills and passion and drive that we all have in the business today, and taking that DNA and moving it elsewhere, because normally it's the founders that do that, and I haven't given up on maybe wanting to take those opportunities up myself, to be fair, but I would like some of the team to potentially, if that is a possibility, it probably will be in the coming months, getting those guys in the business to go off and set up camp, fly that flag in other markets.
Exciting times. And to finish off, where can people find out more about both yourself and Tillo?
So domain is tillo.io, so tillo.io. Website is there. It kind of explains pretty much what what we do as a business. But my LinkedIn, I'm on there. Alex Preece, Twitter as well, at Alex Preece as well. That Twitter handle. But yeah, no, it's we're redefining a lot of what we're doing in our market from a gift card perspective, and it's exciting to see in these remote times actually businesses far and wide looking at using stored value as a way to reward, incentivize, and gift. It's super important. It seems to have resonated really well, and retailers seem to have moved on 5 years. We've seen to kind of get digital, get this up, this channel up and running, which is super exciting. So yeah, excited for the future.